Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. The Canadians play what is a fantastic game. They win 4-0 at home over the Pittsburgh Penguins. Really, as I just said, like a very solid game all the way through. Really only one glaring, not so great thing about this game, which is that Jake Evans left kind of early in the first period and did not return. Hopefully everything is all right in that front. It didn't look great from what happened there. It looked like it was kind of a knee situation, so not super thrilled about how that went, but hopefully it's not as serious as it maybe could be, and we'll get him back sooner rather than later. But other than that, pretty much nothing else really to complain about with this one. I feel like there were definitely some moments throughout the game where Pittsburgh kind of took hold of the momentum a little bit, but I think generally speaking, this game as well as a few other games, over the last couple of days here have been very solid in terms of harnessing the momentum a little bit better than what we have been doing in previous games, and that's worked out really well in our favor. Obviously, 4-0. We fended off pretty much, I think, like 5 straight minutes of, time 6-on-5 there with the net empty. We were able to, hit the post like 5 different times, and eventually Josh Anderson, of all people, puts the puck into the back of the empty net. A ton of guys could have had their chance to score on the empty net there, but nobody was quite able to find the way to do that. But the goal scorers for this one, Uri Slafkovsky gets his 10th of the season on the power play from Caulfield and Suzuki, as is per what usually happens there. A great shot from Slafkovsky. He does a good job to keep the puck in the zone just before that, and then Caulfield is able to find him from below the net, and he just collects the puck and just rips this thing top right corner, and we're off to the races there. It took until under 4 minutes left in the first period to get that goal, but we'll take it when we get them for sure. Good to see. Obviously, Suzuki gets his 30th assist of the season, so pretty good there. It's always good to see Suzuki pad his stats a little bit. Caulfield's getting on the score sheet as well, and Slavkovsky getting 10 goals. I feel like I don't know what exactly the numbers are there, but Slavkovsky, it usually takes him a long time to in previous seasons to actually get going and score goals and stuff like that. To see him in double digit scoring numbers right now is definitely a positive sign, and I feel like that's definitely indicative of the way he's been playing this season. I feel like we've been saying for the past little while here that like Slavkovsky's playing well, he's playing well, whatever, but the numbers don't really reflect it, and now I feel like the numbers are starting to reflect it a little bit better. I think he could definitely have more points than he does right now, especially if he didn't hit the post on that empty net at the end of the game here. But either way, I'm still pretty satisfied with the points that he's putting up right now. I feel like it's starting to show a little bit more that he's definitely a force to be reckoned with on this team and in this league. So good to see him score on that one. And then Owen Beck he finally scores his first NHL goal. He had 2 goals taken away from him, either by an offside challenge or just by not actually touching the puck, but really being the driving force behind that goal going in the first place. But either way, it took him 3 tries, but he's able to get that first NHL goal, which is great for him. Gallagher and Hudson get the assists on that one. Hudson, by the way, gets his 27th assist of the season and also his 100th career point with that assist. So that brings him to 11th on the all-time fastest defenseman to 100 points, which is really impressive for Lane Hudson. I think a lot of people kind of writing him off, not saying he's exactly who he is, and he's just been able to prove everybody wrong time and time again. So very, very impressive stuff from Lane Hudson. Gallagher continued to be on the score sheet as well. Can't write him off that easily either. So yeah, a great goal from back there. He's able to just kind of take advantage a little bit of the fact that the Pittsburgh defender just kind of caught an edge and fell over, but still a very nice shot from him on Stuart Skinner. Beats him into the top right side, same place as the Slavkovsky goal from before. A little bit different of a scenario, but even still, a very good goal from him there. And then going into the second period, a bit of a weak penalty was called on Lane Hudson. It was definitely a cross check. I understand the little reasoning for the call, but at the same time, I feel like the cross checking is one of those penalties in the NHL where it's just sometimes you can get away with a really big cross check or a number of cross checks, and then and sometimes all you got to do is touch a guy and you get a penalty for it. So it was a little weak, but we made no mistake on that one anyway. We were able to kill a good amount of that, and then Josh Anderson gets a nice little flip pass from Oliver Kapanen, and he's able to take that in on the breakaway. And apparently we need to send Josh Anderson in on more breakaways because he's the only one who seems to be able to score on them. He does so very nicely against Stuart Skinner and finds the back of the net there. I believe that's only our second shorthanded goal of the season, but it's good to see us taking advantage of those opportunities. We've definitely had a lot of shorthanded opportunities this season, but not a lot that we've been able to actually capitalize on there. Obviously, the only other one I can think of is the shorthanded goal by Oliver Kapanen in the first game of the season in Toronto. But either way, a big goal there, really. I mean, like, obviously we ended up winning 4-0, but, it's really nice to have that insurance, especially, when it comes on a shorty like that, when it could go easily the other way, the back of our net and be 2-1. So a big goal from Josh Anderson. It really looks like, as of late, I feel like Josh Anderson's really kind of had his legs a little bit in a way that we haven't really seen from him in a while. So it's good to see him kind of flying around out there a little bit, making his contract look a little bit better on our books. But yeah, so a good goal from him, and obviously in a timely moment there as well, with that really kind of helps seal that game a little bit for us. And then Josh Anderson, obviously, as I mentioned before, gets his 8th of the season, unassisted in the empty net goal. He makes good use of a turnover there by the Pittsburgh Penguins. And finally, after what seemed like 10 different chances to score on the empty net, we finally get one to go in. And that's pretty much all she wrote after that point. We were able to walk away with the win there. But obviously, I would be remiss if we did not spend any time talking about Jacob Fowler, who posted his first NHL shutout and only, I believe, his third NHL game of his career. Maybe fourth NHL game, I'm not really sure. Time flies, but either way, his first NHL shutout for sure, and he looked great. There were definitely some saves where it could have easily gone in our net, and I feel like definitely with the goaltending that we've been getting in the last month or so, it's definitely some of those goals would have definitely gone in, but Jacob Fowler was able to do his job and go even above and beyond that, make some really nice saves, some good saves on Crosby. There were a couple of wide open looks out in front of the net that Fowler was able to make good saves on there, and he definitely deserved his shutout there. I was definitely curious to see if he was going to go for the empty net, almost like the last time he played Pittsburgh. I feel like he was thinking about it a little bit there, and I feel like especially with the Pittsburgh Penguins pulled their goalie with 7 minutes left in the third, I was like, if there's a time to get a goalie goal, it might be now, right? Because of the amount of time that Pittsburgh was spending with their net empty. Eventually, you think maybe there would be a chance for that to happen, but he definitely did have a chance to at least go for it, but I think smartly he decided to defer on that one to somebody else. But I mean, if Josh Anderson didn't score on that empty net, he might have taken a chance at it. But either way, I think he played fantastic. He's definitely not doing the Habs brass any favors in making the decision easy as to who's going to be the top two tandem and who's going back down to the AHL. But either way, I think he definitely earned that shutout tonight. I think he definitely backstopped us really well there. So definitely a great game there, and really just a great game from everybody. I mean, the stats kind of don't even really reflect that too much. We definitely lost in the face-off percentages, in the shots on goal. We only had 21 shots in this game. Definitely were penalized more than the Pittsburgh Penguins were. I think the biggest number there, if you look at the stats, is the Pittsburgh Penguins had 20 giveaways in this game to the Habs only 8. So that's kind of a big difference maker there. I feel like we were able to make use of a lot of those giveaways. But yeah, I mean, definitely you'd like to see more shots on goal and all that kind of stuff. And I think having the differences, the big difference in time on the penalty kill makes a difference in the shots on goal total and the ability for the Canadians to get shots on net, as well as that remaining 7 minutes where we were just trying to fire at the empty net for an empty net goal. That definitely made a difference as well. But I think generally speaking, outside of all of that, I feel like we did a great job. in total, just like playing our game. Like I think that there were definitely some times where the Penguins were coming hard at us, and we were able to kind of like use Fowler to our advantage, and stave off their attacks and all that kind of stuff, and we were able to make use of our chances. So in general, I think one of the better games we played all season. I know like we've been saying that recently, and I think there's good reason for it. I think overall, I feel like the Canadians have done a great job over the last couple days, playing some good hockey here. And, obviously we get a rematch against the exact same team tomorrow in their barn. So it should be interesting to see where things go from here. But looking at the standings in general, the Canadians are sitting pretty in second in the Atlantic, exactly where they were before. But like with losses and all that kind of stuff, things could definitely change. So it's good to see them staying in that position. We're only 1 point behind the Detroit Red Wings for that first in the Atlantic slot. Although obviously, it is very it is very like there's a lot of parity going on in the Eastern Conference in general. Only 1 point behind us is the Tampa Bay Lightning with the same amount of games played. Florida's only 2 points behind us. Boston's only 2 points behind us. Ottawa's 4 points behind us. Like it's everybody is still very much in the conversation for a playoff spot right now. So especially when we're playing teams like Pittsburgh that we just proved tonight that we can beat, we have to do that again tomorrow to just get as many points as we possibly can and walk away in a playoff spot, especially as we get closer to the Christmas break and the trade deadline and all that kind of stuff. Like winning the games now that we have the ability to win. It's not like we're playing Colorado right now. We're playing a team that we know that we can beat, the team that's kind of been beating themselves a little bit recently as well. We need to be able to find a way to continue to get points. So I really like our effort tonight, and we got to find a way to do the exact same thing tomorrow. So that's pretty much all I have for you guys on this one. I feel like, again, like a great game from everybody involved. Hopefully Jake Evans is okay. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see him in the lineup tomorrow, but even still, I feel like hopefully it is not as serious as it could be. Obviously, there's a lot in the air right now, but anything with the knee is always a touchy subject. So we'll have to see what goes on there. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I will hopefully see you after another 2 points in Pittsburgh on Sunday.